guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Tanya at Sidegigcrafts, and I am going to be sharing with you today how I made this journal. This is going to, or a planner. This is a planner I made for myself, if you saw my video yesterday, to coordinate my new work project. And so I made this to help me out. And you can make one too. And you can actually add inside what works for you. And yeah, so if you like the grungy look, or if you don't like the grungy look, this tutorial is still for you. I'm going to show you how to make the base of it, and then you can decorate it however you want to. It has worked really well so far. I'm really excited about it. And basically, I've got this elastic band around the outside. You could actually use maybe a ribbon if you want to, or a string. I know a lot of times they like to wrap it and then put the little tassel through to hold it closed. When opening it, I've got a little tuck spot here that I can put some important papers in, any of my notes, something I need to keep handy, or maybe receipts or something like that would be great here. You could decorate this part, which I haven't done yet. Hadn't got that far. I've made 4 signatures in mine. You could use however many you want to, but I figured I actually have these allotted to, this one I made into this one I made into a calendar. My project is supposed to be, well, now I'm finding out it's going to be done in June, but I've got the next 2 months after this month in here. Anyway, this is what's suiting me right now. So I'll probably add more months in there, apparently. So, and then I've got some notes in here to go in day by day and write information down. So this is my calendar per se. And all of these signatures are actually just held in place. And I can take pages out, or I can add pages in. They're not attached in any way, which is great, because if I'm done with this calendar and I want to add a new one in, I can just take these papers out, put something new in the folder, and slip it right back in. So I really wanted something that I can reuse or make changes to quickly and easily, because I'm not sure how long this project will last, or if this is a lasting position, or whatever. So yeah, I've got a lot of information still to collect. So very excited to share this with you. I've got one. These are actually just filled with copy paper, easy to write on, easy to refill. 2 signatures. I actually used fabric tabs on these. The reason being is because I made this a little bit tight on purpose, but I didn't want to put paper in here because it would ruin the tabs. So I used fabric so that they would be easily bendable and not ruin it. So there was a reason for that. You could use paper if you wanted to, but I would, if you do, I would actually make this a little bit different size. So the tutorial I'm going to share with you today is using the fabric tabs. I was also able to put little charms on them and make them my own. So had some fun papers. This was all made with some scrap papers. Well, these are bigger pieces, but they were scraps. And you could also put a little tuck space in here, just add a little belly band or something would be great. So we can do that today as well. So anyway, this is the finished item. So if you would like to follow along, let me show you how I did it. All right, let's get started on that. I'm going to put this one over here. So out of the way. What I did to start is, where's my notes? Where's my notes? For the cover, that's the first thing we're going to do. You can use your base color, whatever you want, but you want to use a really firm cardstock. This, I don't know what the size, let me see if it says on here, because I haven't, oh, I took the sticker off that one too. So I don't know how heavy this is, but it's a decent cardstock. Because I'm going to be decoupaging or layering other papers on top, I don't need it to be super strong. But it's, you know, pretty solid. It's sturdy. You could actually use 2-sided cardstock, like your Maggie Holmes or any of your other, you know, and you wouldn't have to do the layered grungy patchwork looking stuff. You could actually use probably one of those. It'd be really super cute because it's going to have pattern on both sides. You don't have to worry about decorating either side, and go from there if you wanted to. It'd be super cute. Again, you can pick the color of your base. You can pick the colors of your papers. You do you. This is what I did because I was looking for a grungy look. I wanted that grungy look. So for me, that's my heart. I love the colors too, but this is what I wanted. So I'm going to just do the same way I did. So for the cover, you need, I've got, but you need a piece of cards of 8.5 by 11. We're going to use a full sheet of this one. And then we're also going to be using, well, let's start with that, okay? And then we're going to score on the 11-inch side. We're going to score at 4 3/4 and at 5.5. Okay, that leaves us, what is that? 3/4 of an inch for our signatures. That's going to be the width of our signatures. So if you want more signatures, I would recommend going a little bit further, making a little more space. But then you're going to need to adjust your flap as well because your flap won't fit. So if you adjust this, you're going to need to adjust this next piece. So 8.5 by 11 here is the piece we need, scored at, what did I say, 4 3/4 and 5.5. Okay. The next piece we're going to need, same color. I guess it doesn't matter. You could mix it up. This one is going to be I didn't measure it, 8.5 by 4.5. So if you make your signatures thicker, you want to increase this. So if you make your signatures thicker and you increase this, say maybe 1/2 inch or whatever, then you need to make sure and add 1/2 inch to this piece, okay? Because that will allow you room on both ends for your signatures. So this is what we're talking about. This is this piece. So if I make this one thicker, this is going to wrap around this side. It's going to attach to this one and wrap around this side. So if I make this one thicker, I need to make this one wider so that it will fit. Because if I don't, it's going to come up short. Does that make sense? All right. This is super easy, I promise you. I hope I'm not overcomplicating it, but I want to make sure that you understand that if there's adjustments you need to make to the thickness to add more signatures in, then make sure this is the time to do that because it's going to be hard to extend it later. All right, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to use some glue. You could use some double-sided sticky tape if you want to. I'm using my favorite glue. I love Bearly Arts, and I use it all the time. It works perfect for me. You use what works for you. Like I said, double-sided sticky tape is fine. I'd imagine it would hold just as well. Well, I say that. I don't know. I've never actually put it on a hinge, so I know that the Bearly Arts will work just perfectly. So we're going to match that up the best that we can. I'm going to kind of hold it up to the light to see if I've got my seam just about right. I do a lot of eyeballing, guys. I don't do a lot of measurements. So when I do tutorials and I tell you measurements, I actually took the time and measured. Oh my God. It's a red letter day when I do that. Mark your calendars. All right, so next up. Oh, and I told you to, yeah, I did tell you to score there. I didn't tell you about the scoring on this one, and I should have. But we're going to, okay, so on this shorter piece, now that it's attached, we can still score it. On this one's for, my tool, 4.5 by 8.5, okay? So on the 4.5 side, we're going to put the crease here. Actually, this is probably better to score it this way. We're gonna score at the 2.5 mark, all the way down. And we're gonna do 3.25 mark. And 3 3/4 mark. This is going to allow some rolling in our folder when we as we go along. So that's all the scoring we need to do. You can go ahead, I'm going to go ahead, you can go ahead and fold at those sections. but don't use your bone folder, okay? Because you don't want to break those fibers. You just want to train them. All right. If I can do this correctly. I'm having trouble with my light and seeing where that is. Where is it? Where is it? Probably should have scored a little deeper, but here we are. Okay, one more. Okay, next up, and see that's gonna just roll right over like that. And like I said, don't bone folder them. Don't bone fold them. Don't make them too sharp of creases. This one you can, but not this one. Okay, this is just gonna go just like this, and it's gonna allow, I know it looks a little wonky, but it's going to allow room for your signatures. Now, take your corner chomper if you prefer. I like rounded corners, looks a little softer, looks a little more finished to me. And just chomp those and chomp these. And that is the base, you guys. So if you are using double-sided paper, you're pretty much done with this part, okay? You do stitch, I did stitch around the outsides of it, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So if you didn't and you're using a plain cardstock, basically all I did, turn it to the front, and I took, there's no rules to this, there's no rules at all, this is your art, okay? I took some pieces like this, I have quite a bit of it, and I tore my edges all the way around so that they were rough. I promise I'm not going to do this whole thing with you on this one. I'm going to move on. I've got one that's already started, so don't lose faith that I'm going to sit here for 2 hours to do this, please. Stay with me. Stay with me. But I do want to show you a piece or two just to kind of let you know what I did. And as I say, there's no rules. I'll tell you what I did, because I did make a few rules for myself because I wanted it to look a certain way. And I'll show you what I mean. And then I distressed each edge. Okay. And then obviously this paper isn't very distressed looking. So after distressing the edges, on some of the pieces like this one that's a little bit lighter, I kind of went in and just added a little grunge here and there just to make it look a little older. And then, again, no rhyme or reason, I glued it. Ta-da! Now, here's a couple of things that I did. I didn't do wonky pieces that were sideways or crooked because to me, it's not appealing to my eye. If you look at the one that I did, my pieces are either going this way or this way, and they're fairly straight. I mean, I'm not going to get out any kind of tool to measure if it's straight or not, but I didn't like wonky pieces. If you like that, go for it. But as you can see, I just layered and layered and layered. All my edges are distressed. The middles are a little bit distressed. I wanted it to look old and used. And I think I was able to achieve that. So I tried not to use any colors that were like white based too close together. I tried to use the same papers on each side so that it kind of uniformity. And I had some bright colors. I actually grunged those up so that they would blend better. And on the spine. So on the spine, on this spine, not this one, you can glue over this one, but glue it really well to make sure that you can glue over this one. But make sure that it's glued down super well, because when you're done, you're going to need to bend those again, okay? And you're going to need those pieces to stick. Now over here for the spine, you want to not glue on that one. This is a separate strip. So don't glue over these corners because they're not going to be sharp like that. If you do, and it's going to be difficult to work with. So do not glue flat over those. Okay, now once you're all glued and your thing, it looks the way you want it to. Oh, another thing I did. Some of these pieces are hanging over on my book and around the outside edges. I like that look, but you can trim it so that it's squared up. If you like the look where it's squared up a little bit better and a clean all the way around, just glue everything on, take your scissors and snip, snip, snip after you're done. And then you can distress the edges once that's finished. Okay, so that is that. I think you guys get the point probably, because that's pretty easy. I had one that's ready. Remember, I promised I wouldn't sit there and collage with you. This is one that I have already prepared. Okay, you can see I did the strip separate here, and then this is the other side that was going to fold over. I distressed all the edges. I sewed all the way around. I sewed on the edges of the spine, and then I also sewed the creases on the other side. Now, you don't have to sew at all, but that's how I did it, and you don't have to do it the way I did it. You can use a straight stitch, you can use no stitch, you can use whatever you want. You can also, I used one single piece of paper on this one. On the other one, I did not. I actually used a collage strip and glued it, cut it and glued it on there, which worked out really well too. So if you've got scraps like that, perfect. But this is how I did it. So this one, I thought maybe we could at least decorate together. And I kind of want to use, I have one more of these stamps. I kind of wanted to use this one again. I did it on the other one too. I put that one under this way, but I think I'd like to put this one maybe out here. Maybe not, because it's going to go over those stitches. Maybe I'll just put it a little more better placed on this one, or differently placed, I should say. But I've got some other fun little tags and stickers, which I also used on the other, some different things. I did some stamping on that one. This one is all tickets, I think. Just all tickets. But I thought these were pretty colors. They're vellum, and they've got some gold shine on them, which I thought was fun. Let's see what we can do with this. That's kind of cool. I kind of went more with pastels on this one. This is like a movie ticket, maybe? Kind of a fun theme, right? What do you guys think about that? Something like that. Does it still look grungy to you? I did on the other one sew around the stamp as well, which I may do that later for this one. If I do that, what do you think? I feel like it lends to the colors pretty nicely. I'm kind of liking that. All right, well, let's do that then. Let's go ahead. These are actually stickers. I'm using Vintage Photo to distress these. I'll kind of distress it before I stick it on there. I don't know where I got these stickers. I don't know if they were given to me or if I purchased them. I don't remember, so I apologize for that. I know everybody likes to share where they got stuff, and as much as I'd love to, I just don't remember. There we go. But I'm sure you can find something easily. I possibly got them from Amazon. Possibly. Could have been Allie. Could have been Hobby Lobby. Could have been. Don't know. Let's be honest. I just don't know. All right. So I hope you guys are doing great. We were supposed to have snow yesterday. It didn't happen. Not really. We had some snowflakes, but yeah, no. I wouldn't say it snowed. It's been cold, though. I'm sure a lot of you have been seeing seeing more weather than we have here in Alabama, at least where I'm at. I know there's Alabama folks who've seen more weather than I have. Let's see here. This one on there. I'm just trying to grunge these up a little bit so that they don't look brand new. Nothing major. This one actually has wrinkles in it, which is fine too. And then the stamp. Glue that on there. There we go. Perfect. And we won't all have the same supplies or the same scraps and stuff, so everybody's will look different, of course. So there's that one. Now, something else I like to do is, well, let's see if there's anything else here I want to use. Department store. That might be cute back here. Let's put this back here. I'm going to stamp on it, but I think it would be cute in the back. Just whatever's pleasing to your eye. Let's put a little smudgy on the back of there. There we go. And we'll just put it here at the back, which is a bummer because I love that paper, but that's okay. That's okay. There's plenty. There's plenty. Make sure you get your edges. It's important to get your edges on stuff like this because otherwise, especially stuff you're going to be using, it's gonna you'll damage it quickly if it's not stuck down and it catches. You don't want to do that. You put a lot of work and effort into it. You don't want it to fall apart. Now, I really like these. These are spools, spool labels. And I'm going to fussy cut this one. Put it on there. These were printed, I don't know. I don't know where I printed them from. I don't know if this is something I got off Etsy or just got off the internet. I have no clue. Don't know. I apologize. I would give credit if I knew. But I'm sure you can find something too if you're interested in that. They're just spool labels. I was making some wood spools with my dad and I thought, wouldn't it be fun to have some labels to put on them? And so I printed some. And I never made any more because I found my brand new tools weren't sharp enough to use, and I haven't gone to buy a grinder yet to make some more. So there's that. Got to get the grinder for my wood tools to sharpen my brand new wood tools. And that's where my project stopped. Not that a grinder is so expensive or anything, it's just not a priority. So here we go. Kind of sucks to have to sharpen brand new wood tools, but whatever. I suppose, whatever. Whatevs. Okay, so done with that, done with that. Let's see if there's anything else here I want to use. I've got the, let's see what's in here. I don't know if these are papers or tags or both. I think it's both. There's a lot of vellum pieces in here. All right, this isn't, okay. That's going to be for something else. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do on this. I think, oh, wait a minute. I love this one. What can I do with this? Should I want this one? No, I think I'm going to put that on the next one. Okay. So what I want to do with this now is add some stamps. Now, I love postal kind of stamps. Love them. In fact, you can see I haven't even cleaned that one yet. So let's start there. I don't know if I have a different color. I need a darker ink. I think walnut or something. I think I need to order. And I'm just going to put these where I think they should go. I don't care if they're not perfect. It just adds interest. Okay. So it'll be cool. Even if it's not perfect. I'm just going to add one here. See that? And this one might be fun. Break out your favorite stamps that you haven't used for a minute. Of course, if they're your favorite, you probably have used them. Get some stamps that you haven't used for a minute. This one would be fun right here. Okay, that's enough for that one. Don't want to go too crazy with any one stamp, because then you can't use the other ones. Now, on the last one I used my mushrooms, but I think I want to use flowers on this one because this is more of a floral theme. So let's go with these. Let's go with some flowers. Goodness, I can't get it off. There it goes. Let's see what we can do with this one. And again, just do what's pleasing to your eye. No rules. But if you like it, then it's going to be beautiful to you, and that's what matters, because it's yours. Okay, we're just adding interest here. I think I'm going to use this basket. Is that cute? I think so. There we go. And like I said, if it doesn't turn out perfect, that's okay. It doesn't need to. This is a grungy project. Or not, you know, again, some of you may be using your double-sided Maggie Holmes papers or what have you, and you don't need to be doing this. That's okay too. That's perfectly awesome. Perfectly awesome. No harm in that. I think I want a few of these. These are cute. Okay. I feel like this one's missing stuff. There we go. And is there anything else we need on this one? What do you guys think? Shout it out. I need some numbers or something, huh? I think this is, that says essential oil, eucalyptus. There's some numbers. There's, I used this on the other one too. I thought this was pretty cool. It's got some numbers on it. Let's just go this way. There we go. Again, we're just adding interest. It's not a big deal. Whatever looks good to you. Okay. All right. I think I totally want my mushrooms now, but no, that's not what we're doing. I want to add some script though. I like the script print, the script on there. Chloe, you always come up when I'm recording.
Sorry.
What's up?
Can I turn the heat on? I'm freezing.
You can turn it up for sure. It is cold. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we'll put that kind of cattywampus. And there we go. I think we're done. I think that's it. That's all I want to do on that one. Okay. Next. We did that. We're going to put an eyelet here. Okay. Now I'm sure there's different ways to do this too, but I am going to use my crocodile and eyeball the middle, because that's what I do. Eyeball a good spot, I think right there. Do you see me moving around like it's going to make that much difference? And you can use an eyelet of your choice. I like these big wide ones for this. I think they're cool. And attach it. Okay. And we're done with the eyelet. We're done with that. I'm using all my toys on this project. All my toys. I can't put it back. Why? Oh, I know why. Okay. Done with that. So this is what we've got so far. Okay. We're going to set this aside for a minute. Okay, we'll come back to it. Next, you are going to take, if you want to do signatures, I did four pieces of cardstock that 8.5 by 11. Okay, you're just gonna simply fold it in half, corner around it. If you want to sew, this is the time to sew. And then I added a fabric tab to each one. Okay, and I did put them at varying heights so that, well, apparently I didn't do very well with, oh, wait a minute, I just held it backwards, that's all. I know I did it right. Didn't I? Didn't I? So that they're in different places so that you can reach them individually. Okay. Now most of these are double-sided, the ones that I used, except for this one. Don't know what I was thinking. You guys, you want to use cardstock for these two. Don't use paper, and I'll tell you, because once you get to this point where we're putting the elastic around it, let me show you. When these slide in, it's important to use cardstock to help hold this so that it doesn't tear. If you use just paper and stick it in here, it's not going to be as sturdy. I think you're going to be happier with the cardstock. So I do recommend using cardstock for the folders, not just a piece of paper, okay? Just something heavier than regular scrapbook paper. All right, this one does not have color on the inside, and I like the color with it, so that's why I chose it. And I did know that it didn't have anything on the inside, but I do want to see about kind of grunging that up a little bit, see what we can do to make it at least look a little more cohesive with the project. Figured we could add some distress to it. My sponge is like tearing. I don't know if I'm using the wrong sponge for this, but I haven't had it very long and I'm really surprised it's tearing. Okay, so I'm just kind of dabbing some color in here. It's better than the stark white, I'll tell you what. Okay, I did use stark white paper for the insides of mine. You can use whatever color you want. You can use tea-dyed. You can use colored paper. You do you. For me, it's a working journal, so I like the white paper in there. You can use lined paper. You can print stuff out. It's up to you. So there, that looks a little better. So it's not quite so blah in your face. Okay, and then once those are done, actually I wanted to distress the edges of these too on the outside. And I'll get a little more ink for this. Again, for the grunge in me, I will distress these. I didn't in my other one, and I'm gonna go back and fix it because I'm like, no. Too fresh looking. Grunge it up, make it match the outside. So we're gonna do that on this one before we actually put it all together. Whew. And we can add a little to here. See what a difference that makes between this side and this side? I haven't done this side yet. This one's all fresh and clean. This one looks like it's maybe been used a little more aged. Just a subtle but very obvious difference. Makes a huge difference. Okay, anyways, that's how you're gonna do it. I'm gonna go back and do these later. I don't want this video to be too long, so I won't do all of that for you, but that's how you do it. Now, inserts, here we go. I already have those counted out. I've got 10 pieces of 8.5 by 11 copy paper. Like I said, you can put the paper in that you want. You can print stuff out on it. You can print out calendars. You can find that stuff online anywhere. You can do that. So I actually did print some papers out for my other one. I'll show you what I used. I did the calendar. I showed you guys that. But then some of the papers I did graph paper, and on the other side I had this from an Etsy shop. It was in an astronaut packet, and I thought this would be really cute to use instead of lined paper because it would help me space out my lines and draw and write straight. So I think that's going to be a fun addition to mine. So yeah, so I did that in this one. You could do something like that works for you. And each of these, I think I pulled 10 pieces for each. And so I'm going to put 10 pieces in each signature. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to wipe that ink off my table. Not that it's going to hurt anything, but it annoys me. I don't like it there. I already have ink on my hands, so there we go. Okay. Let's see if I can get some of that ink off my hands real quick. All right, so that's that. You guys see how this is coming together so quickly and easily? Looks like I cut that. Oh no, I didn't cut it full. I did it right. Okay, so we've got our four signatures. That's it. You don't have to sew them. Don't have to attach them. Next part, you ready? Let's move on. Let's go back to our folder. Now, oh, we weren't done with the whatchamahoozle. Let's get out that crocodile again. Now this is the fun part. Again, I'm eyeballing. Okay, I'm gonna open this up to the spine. Now I want to go. I'm eyeballing, but I'd say this is about a 1/2 inch or so from the edge, and in the middle of the spine. So right about there, okay? And again on this side, I know you can use your guide. I'm eyeballing again. Okay, you're gonna put some eyelets in there. Choose what works for you. I'm going to use little ones this time in a fun color that kind of coordinates, sort of. And oops, I can put that back in a minute and punch those in. You guys see how easy this comes together? I think the part that takes the longest is the collaging of the outside cover to make it look the way you want it to. That's the part that takes the longest. All right, so now you've got those holes in there. That's important because that's how we're going to tie this all together. Now, where did my cord go? Next, you need your elastic cord, which is here somewhere. There it is. Okay, now, you're gonna need a bit of this. I didn't measure. I don't know exactly. But get a roll of it, okay? And this is where we're gonna start. I'm looking back at the other one to make sure I did it. I'm doing it the same way. We're gonna start on the outside. We're gonna pull this. No, we're not. We're gonna start on the inside and pull this way, okay? Now, first, we're going to take the first signature, whatever order you want. I like my tabs to the back, so I'm going to place it in there, open it up, and I'm going to put this over the top, okay? This is going to come up through the bottom hole. Some of you may know a better way to do this. This is how I did it, and it's working. So that's what I'm going to show you. And I kind of want to just guide that through. So kind of know how it's going to lay, okay? Actually, I don't even think we need that in there yet. Let's don't put that in there yet. Let's just work this. Okay. I think that's how I did it, but I think we're gonna just work this. Now we're gonna wrap this through several times. So you wanna pull that aside, swing it through, back up through the bottom. Come on the screen, let's see. Trying to hold it so you guys can see it and I can't. So this, technically we have enough for 2 signatures, so we need to keep going. Pull it through. It's gonna start getting a little bit tight in those eyelets. That's okay. Just make sure that your end is clean and it's not frayed, and it should feed through fairly easily. That's 3. I know you've only got 2 strings, but when we tie this, that's 3. And I'm gonna need a little more. Might have to feed that other end through. This one I just can't get to go. Now you don't want this too tight. If you do it too tight, again, you're gonna tear your papers. You're not gonna have enough room for all your signatures, but I'll show you how to adjust that. Yeah, okay. That one's too short, so let's put this one through. It'll work just the same. What I'm doing is, because this one's too short to go back around, I don't wanna fuss, so I'm just gonna use this other end and go through the same way we've been doing. I'm at the end of my string anyway. It won't be that big of a deal. I've got 3 strings here, 3 elastic bands. Again, you can leave it loose at the moment. We're going to pull it a little tighter in a minute. And then once back in through here, I'm going to cut that end just because it's frayed, it's going to be too hard to get in there. And like I said, it will start getting a little tight because your eyelets are only so big. Let's see if I can get that. Come on. There we go. If it does get too tight, you can wrap a little Scotch tape around the edge, and that actually helps a lot. Okay, so don't tie this off yet. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put these in here. So grab a first band, stick it in. Okay, that one fits pretty good, of course. Grab your second one, grab a band. I don't know that it matters which order you grab them because they're all coming through that same eyelet. There's two. There's the third one. Actually, I don't want that one yet. I want this one. I'm looking at the colors. I want to do every other one. Okay, and this last one. So this is where we're going to kind of snug it up. We want these to be fairly snug. We don't want it to be too tight because it'll rip the paper. So don't go too tight, but you do want it snug so they don't just flop around in there. Okay, so you can pull on them a little bit. It's not going to hurt anything. Remember, that's an elastic band, so do that. And then you're going to put this one here. Wrap your two ends. And we're just going to tie it off. I'm going to tie knots because I don't know that a elastic band will tie very good bows that'll stay. Okay. Oops, I'm going to tear my paper. I don't even know if I can pull it. There we go. Am I fighting with it or what? Where's the end? There it is. There it is. All right. Just make sure that your knot is nice and secure. I like to add one more. And then you can actually add a charm onto this if you wanted to. That would be super cute. I think I'm going to do that for now because I don't know. Or you can cut it short. You decide. And you guys, there's that. Now our signatures are in. See how that works? Isn't that cool? All right, now, thank goodness I have another piece because I almost forgot about this part. All right, so our book is together. You can see how it fits in there. Fits pretty well, pretty snug. And you've got your tabs in here. They're not getting smushed because they're fabric. If you can see how if I used paper, it probably wouldn't work right because they would get smashed in there. So now we need to put this band around the outside. So the best way to do that is to get a loop and tie it this way. You might have to play with this a little bit. I'm going to measure this before I tie this completely. Stick this through this way so that the knot gets stuck. And then slip it around. And actually that's perfect. That's exactly the way I want it. You can leave those strings there if you want to. You can put charms on them, or you can tape it off like I did. I actually used some glue and then pasted some paper over that so that they would tie off, and that's what I'm going to do on this one so that I can show you. Oops, I was going to tie one more knot in there just to make sure it's big enough that it doesn't come all the way through. Actually, it won't because I'm going to paste it. All right, so then if you want to do that, you can use, actually, you could totally use a design if you wanted to do this, which I don't want to do because I don't know, that's just not what I want to do. I'm not feeling it. Where is my hole punch? My circle punch. My circle punches are always around when I don't need them, but when I do, it's just too big. That's this big, isn't it? That's too big. Is that big? Oh man, I didn't have to fussy cut those at all. All I had to do was that. Oh, should I just use it? totally could. Is that what I want to do? Let's do it. Let's do it. Or, you know what? Oh, shoot, I didn't want to circle that thing. That's what's throwing me off. Where's my middle size one? There it is. Okay. This one's a little smaller. This is the size I wanted. And you can actually distress this if you want to. And I put a little piece of tape on this just to help hold it down while it glued. Is that too big? That's a little too big. We don't want the tape sticking out. Let's try and make it smaller. Smaller than that. And then glue that down really well. You could use hot glue too. I'm just using this because I don't have my hot glue gun plugged in. I didn't glue the knot because that's just too big to glue under paper like that. So I just glued the ends of it because I don't want those sliding through. Okay, hopefully that'll help hold it in place. If you like the look of staples, you could do that. That could be an option. Move some of this stuff out of the way. We're almost done. Almost done. Actually, we pretty much are done. Well, we still need to put tuck spots, don't we? Okay, so here was what we can do. Now, you can, on the other one I did put another piece of cardstock here. I don't think it's necessary though. So I'm not gonna do on this one, but you can put, I did a tuck spot here. And it's the same size of paper because this is what I cut it off of. So we're gonna corner around this so that it matches. We can distress the edges so that it blends. Make it pretty. And then the straight edge too. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little color so that there's a little depth to this as well. And then let's just go ahead and glue the edges. We'll just put that right here. And now you've got a little tuck spot. Okay, in the back, it might be fun to put an envelope back in here. Or something like that. That would be kind of fun to you could just put an envelope back here. Let's see if I have anything that I can make one quick. What if I have any? Ooh, you know what? Hang on a second. I have an idea. I think I have some envelopes that I could use for that. Give me just a minute here. Let me peek in my stash and see what I got. I have one in mind, but maybe not. Maybe I don't. Maybe I, oh, there it is. Woo, woo, woo. My craft-a-lanch just happened. And my knee clocked on some mail I need to send out. So let's see if I could use one of these. This could be fun. I have these, but I don't know. I don't know if that's what I want to put there. It would be fun to kind of just attach it on here so that it's kind of a flip. But I think I'm not going to do that. I was thinking more of a pouch envelope would flip up, like for receipts and stuff might be fun. But that might be a little bit too much. So you guys, I think we're gonna call it. So you can add your little charms to the tabs here if you want to. You can add charms to your strings here. You can add a charm, a bow, or something to this to finish it off. It's totally up to you how you want to decorate it, but for the most part, that's how you make it. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you'll make some too. And I can't wait to see what you guys create. If you're interested in this, I am going to finish it and put it probably up in my Etsy. So I'm going to add a few more details to it. And so stay tuned for that. I'll be posting it here and then I'll be posting it up in my Etsy. So I hope you have a great day. Thank you for joining me and hanging out with me and crafting with me today. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you so much. Have a great one. Bye-bye.